Hello, Crafted Shutter Watchers, and welcome back to another great episode today. And thank you for being patient. I was a little disoriented last week doing jury duty. And I'm a good juror, so I don't want to talk too much about my cases, but let's just say that you shouldn't be trimming your toenail fungus while you're preparing food. Just kidding. Yeah, that just ruins your next meal. Yeah, fantastic. Hey, that's not what the subject is about today. I don't really want to know about your toenail fungus or lack thereof. You can keep that to yourself. I'll keep mine to myself too. So today's a really good episode, a lot of fun. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't wait because, procrastination, all that. Just click the little subscribe and ring the little bell and make yourself happy. Do something useful today, and I would appreciate it, of course. You don't have to do anything. No one's making you do a thing. Just if you want to, of course. Absolutely. So today, I put a poll on my YouTube community tab, and I'm going to be back there posting regularly again after this last week of jury duty. What stops you from becoming a creative freelancer? And I'm going to put the results up here on the screen for a little bit so you can look at the results. But we really need to talk about this, especially you artists out there that want to create. So let's take the first one. Number one, I wrote down as part of the questions, you need a degree. Now, 4% of you thought that in order to be a freelancer, you need a degree in a creative field. I put creative freelancer, which would mean content design, web development, video, photo, audio. There's a lot of areas that encompass creative freelancing. And I would say by and large in today's society and on the whole, you don't need a degree from a college to be a successful freelancer. You can get so much knowledge from YouTube and from other sources, from Skillshare, from online classes, that if you're a go-getter, if you're willing to hit the pavement and work hard, you absolutely do not need a degree if your work can stand up to the commercial test. Now, there's a part of you, and maybe there's 4% of you, who actually need the degree, and let me tell you why. If you're not a self-starter, if you are not highly motivated, if you need someone to guide you through the ups and downs and you have a hard time figuring the market out on your own, or you don't have the desire to even try to figure out the market or try to make a run at your own, then I would say that's when you need a degree as a creative freelancer. So, getting the degree can help you get into jobs, certain jobs, a little quicker. Where if you're on your own, this is a really interesting concept because college is not cheap. And if you go to a decent college, you can pay upwards of $10,000, $25,000 a year. So if you stop and think about if you took that $10,000, $25,000 a year and invested it in yourself to become a freelancer instead of going to college, if you were a self-starter, you would blow past the person that has a college degree if you used your money wisely and spent it well. But if you're just starting out, let's just say you're 18, 19 years old, you're just getting out of high school, maybe you're even 17, getting a degree, at least a 2-year degree, is not a bad way to go, especially if you don't have to spend too much money on it, especially if you have some good teachers, just to help you get on that runway and get launched off. So you need a degree. Need's a pretty strong word. You might want to get a degree, but on the question as a whole, to get started as a freelancer, you don't need a degree to do it. You do need business acumen, you do need business skills, and you do need a way to feed yourself in the hard times. So the next one, you are afraid to fail. Why? Why are you afraid to fail? Most of the time, it's maybe not even money. Maybe it's how people will look at you, how your family members will look at you, how maybe people will treat you. If you know any of my history from my channel, I have a degree in radiology from Kettering. I graduated from Kettering in 1993 and worked in healthcare for 15 years. I worked in radiation therapy 10 of those years. When I decided I was going to launch off on being a full-time stock video producer, I was afraid to fail to some degree, but I was more afraid not to try. Because I knew that if I never tried, if I never put forth this effort to give it a shot, that one day I would lie on my bed at the end of my life and I would say one thing to myself: I wished I would have tried. You see, you should be afraid of not trying more than you should be afraid of failing. There is no such thing as failing, there's only learning. So if something doesn't work, if a client turns you down, if somebody says no, if you mess up a project, I've done all of those, okay, in my learning process. You look at them as steps to grow, to get yourself to another professional level. And if you treat people kindly, if you treat people honestly, and you treat people fairly, you will make a success. But please, 10% of you out there that responded to this, and there were 48 people, the 10% out of you out there, and there's more of you out there, that are afraid to fail, I'm going to beg you, please don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try. That is by far worse, is not trying, than there is to be afraid of failing. Failure is overrated. So what? It's just like getting a negative comment or a thumbs down on this YouTube video, which I'm sure I'll get one. It doesn't faze me one little bit. I don't care how many times. I like the people that say click the thumbs down twice. Well, that's because it reverts back to nothing. Doesn't really matter to me. It's fine either way. So don't be afraid to fail. Now the next one is, you have tried but can't make enough money. That's 73% of you said, I've tried freelancing and I just couldn't make enough money. And I guess the follow-up question to that is, how long did you try freelancing? And how good was your business plan going into freelancing? How aggressive were you? There are so many variables in the person that has tried. If you have gone, 2 or 3 months, you're like, I can't get any, no one wants to hire me. I've knocked on, doors. People are like this. I've contacted everyone I know, and no one wants to hire me. And they've sent maybe 3 emails and talked to 2 people and wonder why they don't have any business. You've got to hit the pavement hard when you're a freelancer. You've got to make yourself seen. You've not to become obnoxious. You got to become aggressive with what you want to do in life, because no one cares about what you're doing but you yourself. So you have tried, but you can't make enough money. There is money out there to be made. Some people shouldn't be freelancers because it's too much stress for them. It ruins other parts of their lives. They don't enjoy the stress of it. Then don't do it, okay? Because it is stressful. I have up and down months. I have up and down part times of the year. It is an adjustment, It's somewhat nice for a lot of people to go to a 9-to-5 job or whatever hours it is, and to have the work given to them, and then they turn around and go home and their pay is set and they don't really worry about it. That is absolutely fine. The reason why I love freelancing, I have a video on that on my channel as well, why I love it, the top reasons. But the main one here I want to talk to you about is my time. So you've tried but you can't make money. Well, to me, if I make enough money to pay the bills and keep my family comfortable, and I keep my overhead low, and I don't live an extravagant life by any means, and I have more time to spend with my kids, to go swimming with them, to go whitewater rafting with them, to go hiking with them, to take picnics, that is of more value to me than a certain level of income. So, you've tried, but you can't make enough money. I sympathize with you. I mean, if you have hit the pavement hard and you just can't seem the doors open and it's just too much stress, that is fine. If you can't make enough money, then go find something else. Reduce your stress level. Maybe at another point in time, in fact, maybe even right now, jump back into the market and give yourself a whirl. Get a giant 9-to-5 job and build up your freelance on the side. There's nothing wrong with that. No, don't believe the people that says you have to jump all the way in or it's not going to work. You don't have to go that route. I worked on my stock video for 4 to 5 years before I went full time. Okay, I already had an income coming in. So if you need that 9-to-5 before you jump out on freelance, then by all means do that. Now the next one is too much stress to work on your own, another 4%, and I accept that wholeheartedly. I've already addressed that before because you don't need stress. Stress will kill you, friends. I've worked in the healthcare field. I can tell you for a fact that stress triggers disease in your body. Stress triggers disease in your body. It can trigger cancer cells. It can trigger heart attacks. It can trigger strokes. That list is almost endless. Irritable bowel syndrome. If your stress level goes up, all these things come into play. So whatever you do, keep your stress level down. If you don't enjoy the challenge, if you don't love the game, and it just stresses you out, it is not for you. And that is not a bad thing, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of great companies out there that would love the skill sets that you have to offer. You write you a good resume, you find you a good headhunter for a job, and you go get the job of your dreams and you build a company up. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's a fantastic way to live and work and reduce your stress level if that's what you need. Every job has a stress, but freelancing has a separate stress on its own because it all falls on you. In other words, I feel a lot of stress at times to provide for my family, and I don't have an employer to send me a regular paycheck every month. So I understand, and there's nothing wrong with it. That leads me to the last one that I put on this, is you have no desire to do freelance. And I love that. I love that 8% of you said, I don't have a desire to do that. I don't want to go through that, because that goes along with the stress question above it. It's just way too much stress. I don't want to do it. And I'm happy working with the company that I'm at. I'm happy climbing the ladder where I'm at. That is great stuff, people. I mean, the internet is full of break free, live the life you want, get rid of your boss. If you hate your job, it's almost a negative to think that way, okay? Because there's a lot of you out there that love your job, and that shouldn't break away, and that should foster and help the businesses and people you are working with. And you've built relationships with people at work, and you hang out with people, and you have a good time, and this enhances your life as a whole. And that is absolutely fantastic. You don't have to break free and be all that in order to be happy. If you have a place that you are happy where you are working, then stick with it and enjoy life, because I'm telling you, life is short. I hope you enjoyed this little chat about what stops you from becoming a freelancer. And if your desire is to become one, that's a whole nother subject. That's what this channel is here to help you with. I've been one for 10 years. And at times it is tough not to have the regular paycheck I got paid every 2 weeks and didn't have to worry about it. I didn't mind what I did. But why I left was not because I didn't like the medical field, wasn't because I didn't have other opportunities, don't have a good resume and good letters of recommendation. I have all of that. I left for one simple reason, is I wanted more time to spend with my family, because I know how short life is. So that is the reason I am willing to take on the stress levels that there is with freelance. And I can honestly tell you, I can look you in the eye and say I have not regretted it one single bit. It has been the most wonderful experiment, however long it goes, whatever avenues I branch myself into, I have ever done. I have been with my second child. My first one was 2 when I lost my job. My second child, right before my wife gave birth, I changed to full-time freelancing. The past 10 years have been a gift. I really feel like it's been a wonderful gift to spend more time with my family. It's something I will never, never regret. So that is where I'm at. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget, we will see you in the next video.